Good morning and welcome. Nick here from Opportunity Private Capital. For our small investor Snapchat this morning, I've got one of our investors, Inge. Inge, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you again. So, Inge, you've been investing with us for quite some time. I think, if I think back, 2017 you started?
Yeah, 2017,
okay.
yeah.
And I've got to know you quite well during that period.
Yeah.
And what I like about you is that you've got a no-nonsense, straightforward attitude and approach to life and everything. So chats like this can be pretty valuable to us. So thanks for joining us. So a lot of people use brokers. Do you do your investments yourself, or do you use brokers?
I've got a broker, insurance broker, that does all my bits and pieces, from the life cover, medical aid, all those things. So obviously from when I was my early 20s, I already started the normal RA and things like that, which I do believe you should have. They're good to have. They're safe.
Don't give away your age.
So yeah, back in the day. So that is always a good thing to have, but definitely not to put all your eggs in that basket. I'm always looking for some way to invest money and obviously, I want to say make more money, but make your money work. And the things that I've seen and things I've been through when I was looking after my mother's money, my mother was old and I had to make sure that I did investments with that. This is many years ago, also not knowing as much, and often was told, there's an investment, your capital's guaranteed, and because it's equity, it should give you X, and actually at the end of the day, after 5 years, having earned no interest. So I've always been looking for other ways to do better with my money and make it work better. And that's when I was introduced to you and your company. And after we sat down, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer to invest in something that is more tangible. When I'm invested in one of your developments, I can physically get in my car, because I'm in Cape Town, and I can drive to it. I can see it.
If I can just summarize, you're looking for good returns that are above average, but you're also looking for security and safety within your investments.
Yeah. Which is uncommon to get a high return investment, which with what I would say low risk. There's never any investment with low risk. To get an investment which is effectively quite a short-term investment with such high returns, there are the structures in place, and the way I've understood it is that obviously my investment goes against a particular unit in one of your developments. That is my security. Until that is sold, that's when I would get my money out. If things were to happen and it was not being sold quickly enough, or whatever the case is, then obviously that is something that could be rented out. So I still feel the security knowing that my capital is safe within the unit, and there will still be some interest in really bad times.
Okay, so that's a good point you're making, right? We've never got to that worst case scenario.
Never.
So
that's just in the back of the mind.
Even during COVID and lockdowns, when other investments suffered, you still kept on earning your interest at, I think, 18% in that investment. Okay, so if something more catastrophic would happen than COVID, and we couldn't sell the property that you linked to, for example, then at least we have that fallback legally, where we could rent the properties out and you could get your returns until such time as the market recovered.
The safety that I feel as well is that the money is not in your hands. It's not for you to decide when and where it gets given out. It's secure with the attorneys and the trust. So there's a lot of checks and balances.
You often have said to me in the past that you trust me, but it's not me you have to trust. You need to trust the process, because if I'm not here, or any other senior role players aren't here, it's not going to affect the investment because the structures are in place.
Yeah.
As a moment, do you know how many investment cycles you've been through with us so far?
This is the third, and actually almost fourth. So since 2017, yeah.
You've had 5 exit points. I think you started off with the construction finance phase, and then you exited there and you came through.
So the construction fund, yes. Okay, sorry, I'm thinking of just the developments. Yeah, so it's been, sure.
You've had about 5 exit points, and on occasion, you've taken some of the interest out and rolled everything over. How's that benefited you? And do you have a long-term strategy with us, or is this a short-term gap to boost your returns?
No, I think if everything keeps going as it is, then it's definitely a long-term investment for me. But yet giving me the freedom that it is short-term. So I can make it long-term, short-term. If I need money, then I can always release some when the project is ending and one of my units becomes available. So that's what's given me the flexibility to take out when I've needed and then put it back again, when I don't. So definitely long-term, I'm in it for the long haul, because there's nothing else out there that could even compare.
I know you look at various investment types on an ongoing basis. So what are your biggest fears in investing?
Well, to lose your capital. At the end of the day, you want your capital to be safe. So, but there's nothing that's risk-free. So, but that's my main thing, is making sure your capital is safe, but then and getting the most interest.
You seem to understand our security structures quite well, so does that appease your concerns about the safety or not? But the funny thing is, psychologically, people are they fear losing money more than the drive to make big returns. So that is still your drive, even though with us you're getting some good returns. Your biggest factor is the security of your capital.
Definitely. But it has to work both ways, because just sticking your money in a bank to secure your capital isn't going to help. That's for sure. And putting it into some fund that's giving you 6 or 7% supposedly over an annum, and then they still take charges off, is your money is degrading in value.
Yeah.
So you have to be. So this is the lowest risk, but with the highest return in essence, that I've definitely seen with chatting to anybody and in my own experience.
Inge, thanks so much for joining us. I know you had to come all the way to the offices to be here. Good seeing you again.
Likewise.
Take care.